Today we got the first details on Donald Trump's proposed overhaul of the tax system. And overall, it is a rich man's wet dream. It's a CEO's wet dream. And we're gonna break down all of the different reasons today. But you do have to understand that we don't know everything because this is still sort of the broad strokes of the plan with a few details. If you could bring up this first picture, you're gonna see what we basically have to go with. It's gonna show to you that this is not just not particularly sketched out in its fine details, but also it looks like something that a child would have written up in just a few minutes. That's almost literally all of the details that they came out with. Now, what is interesting though, and what will allow us to analyze this at a slightly different level is we broke down Donald Trump's proposed tax plan back in September of 2015. And it was me and Jimmy Dore, we were on the show, and almost all of the details are the same. Like, we think that a lot has changed in that time, but it hasn't actually. And so we do know more about it than we perhaps would otherwise. But let's talk about some of the specifics. How are they gonna change things up? There's a press conference today, here are some details.
We are going to cut taxes and simplify the tax code by taking the current 7 tax brackets we have today and reducing them to only 3 brackets. A 10% bracket, a 25% bracket, and a 35% bracket. We're going to double the standard deduction so that a married couple won't pay any taxes on the first $24,000 of income they earn. So in essence, we are creating a zero tax rate. Yes, a zero tax rate for the first $24,000 that a couple earns. Nothing drives economic growth like capital investment. Therefore, we are going to return the top capital gains tax rate and dividend rate to 20%, repealing the harmful 3.8% Obamacare tax on dividends and capital gains. That tax has been a direct hit on investment income and small business owners. We're going to repeal the death tax.
So there we're talking about things that primarily affect individuals, small business owners. You know, it's the stock stuff, the dividend stuff. It's for small business owners.
No, it's not. Okay, so the first half of what he talked about is a total smokescreen. It's we're simplifying the tax code. Do you really care if there's 3 brackets or 7 brackets? What difference does it make, right? So if you were making $37,500 and you would have, and one bracket used to be $37,000, and that means that only $500 of your income was in the second bracket. It's irrelevant. It's a tiny, tiny little point. Would I prefer a simpler tax bracket? I suppose, right? But that's not the essence of this plan. That's to get you to go, oh, I like simpler. Simpler's good. Oh, they look like they're doing reform. No. The whole point of this is the last things that he mentioned. Giant tax, because not for small businesses, for huge businesses.
Yeah.
Capital gains and dividends, et cetera, the taxes he's talking about, that's for Goldman Sachs. Yeah. Oh, look at that, Gary Cohn, the guy you just saw, is the former president of Goldman Sachs.
Yeah.
He's the guy who came up with the plan, and it's like, I'm just using Goldman Sachs as an example. It applies to all the giant multinational corporations. By the way, they've got more news on that as well. It applies to the richest people in the country. This is going to be the biggest American robbery in our history.
Basically, every detail shows that, to be clear. We're gonna get to the corporate stuff in just a minute, but in that simplifying it from 7 tax brackets down to 3, we can't help but acknowledge that the top bracket is for some reason going down from 39% down to 35%. So it had been cut previously. Bill Clinton put it back up to 39%, and well, what do you know? It's going back down again. It's weird that he didn't mention that there. He just talked about simplifying, not the fact that the richest people in the country will be getting a tax cut there. But then you also have the various things having to do with stocks and dividends. Of course, that is going to benefit the wealthier you are, the more likely you are to benefit from that. They mentioned at the end there, they're getting rid of the death tax. Well, that's interesting because I don't know anything in the law called the death tax, but I do know that they're getting rid of the estate tax and the alternative minimum tax as well. Now, both of those incredibly interesting and incredibly important to incredibly wealthy people.
They've been telling you that, hey, we lower tax on the rich and take the top 39.6 and lower it to 35, it's gonna create jobs. But they've actually done that for decade after decade. They've lowered taxes over and over again. You know, the taxes during the golden era of America, 1950s and 60s, that's what conservatives say, that they say that's the golden era, were as high as 91% for the top marginal tax rate. It didn't apply to all their income, just money above a huge threshold, right?
Yeah.
But But they brought it all the way down and they said, okay, well, we're gonna create new jobs. Well, did we? No, our jobs left. So the job creation and the investment part is a fraud. It's a trick to try to get you to think, well, maybe it'll create jobs for me. Although it hasn't yet in decades and decades. When we had rates that were 91%, 70%, actually we did create a lot of jobs in the 1950s and 60s. So now, look, it's more complicated than that. And I'm not saying we should go back to 90 or 70%, although it was an economic boom. But look, I'm trying to be very reasonable here, and 39.6% for the top bracket is totally reasonable. But here they want to bring it down. But that income tax is actually the least of their problems, okay? So that's a small little diversion as well. In reality, when you get rid of, first of all, the estate tax, it only applies to the richest, not 1%, 0.2%. Okay, so unless you have an estate as a family above $10 million, it doesn't apply to you at all. You got an estate above $10 million, do you?
No, Cenk, it's easier. Do you have an estate? I don't have an estate. I don't know anybody with an estate.
Yeah.
Okay, I live in an apartment like a normal person.
And so they say, oh, well, that'll help it. Their standard excuse, that'll help investment. Really? So Conrad Hilton builds the Hilton Empire, the Hilton hotels, okay? He did a lot of investment. He hands it down to his kids and then to his grandkids like Paris Hilton. How many hotels has she built? How many jobs has she created? What are you talking about? No, it's just so that rich people can pass it down to their kids. And their kids who didn't earn the money in the first place get no taxes at all. If you win the lottery, they will tax you, okay? But when Paris Hilton wins the genetic lottery, didn't do anything to get it, didn't work a day in her life to get it, no taxes at all. You work your ass off, you get taxed. Paris Hilton, no tax on this proposal. Now it's partly done for Paris Hilton because not her specifically, but the rich class that of people, but partly done for Donald Trump, who's in that class.
And we've got, so we're gonna do a case study on that just a little bit later.
We are, but hold on, one last thing, the alternative minimum tax. Again, I know it personally affects Trump, we'll talk more about it later, but it's for the guys who have so many accountants that they could find 1,000 different loopholes so they wind up paying no tax. The alternative minimum tax says, yeah, that's very cute. But if you made a lot of money, you're gonna have to at least pay 25% on your income. We don't want you to cheat on all of your taxes. But the rich really want to cheat on all their taxes. And they bought the Republican Party lock, stock, and barrel. And they bought Donald Trump and they built a wonderful little swamp in Washington. So they're like, we're gonna get all of our tax cuts. This is worth trillions of dollars of wealth redistribution from the middle class to the rich. That's what this plan is.
Well, you don't have to worry about those loopholes because they're gonna say in just a little bit that they're getting rid of all the loopholes.
Oh, sure.
So don't worry, we don't need the AMT anymore. In terms of stuff that's gonna impact you, just to give you an idea, Trump administration officials said they're proposing to eliminate virtually all tax deductions that Americans claim. They would preserve tax breaks that incentivize home ownership, retirement savings, and charitable giving. Those are very popular middle class exemptions that you can take. Almost all others would be jettisoned, and this is an interesting, incredibly petty thing that they're doing. This includes the tax deduction people can claim for the state and local taxes they pay each calendar year, which is a deduction you get because you have to pay federal taxes, but you also pay state and local taxes. And interestingly, and by no means a coincidence, that means that if you live in a state that has a relatively high state income tax, you're gonna have to pay more. If you live in New York or California, which I don't remember if those are blue or red states, but we'll look into it, you're gonna end up being charged more. So look at the little middle finger being given to you by the Republicans in DC. So that's a bunch of individual level stuff, and there's a lot to it, and again, we're early in the process. But I do want to get to the next big section of this because in addition to the investment income, the dividends and the stocks and the capital gains and all that, this isn't just about individuals, this is about corporations, which I hear are also people, my friends. And so let's transition to that. First here, is it going to be a small tax break for businesses or a large tax break? Let's go to video 4.
Under the Trump plan, we will have a massive tax cut for businesses and massive tax reform and simplification. As the president said during the campaign, we will lower the business rate to 15%. We will make it a territorial system. We will have a one-time tax on overseas profits, which will bring back trillions of dollars that are offshore to be invested here in the United States to purchase capital and to create jobs. The president is determined to unleash economic growth for businesses. This is not just about large corporations. Small and medium-sized businesses will be eligible for the business rate as well.
Care about those small businesses. And so as they said there, the corporate tax rate will be dropping from 35% to 15%. That's cutting it by more than half. And again, back September 2015, those were the numbers they were talking about. Nothing has actually changed since then.
We told you that if you allow multinational corporations to legally bribe politicians and give them campaign donations, do independent expenditures, what are they going to do? They're going to legally bribe them because it makes business sense. You give these smarmy politicians $1 million here, or sometimes they buy them as cheap as $5,000. And what do they get in return? Trillions of dollars in tax cuts. Of course they're gonna bribe every politician. It's insanity that we allow it. So you're surprised that in a system where we allow the richest people and the biggest multinational corporations, and they're not American companies, they're multinational corporations owned by people from across the world, okay, and executives from across the world. You allow them to spend unlimited money on our politicians, they will own them in an unlimited way and get unlimited tax breaks in their pocket, and they're gonna take your money and they're gonna redistribute it to the richest people in the world. That's what this is.
I mean, look, the individual stuff is obviously huge, but it just looks like 35 to 15. You're only changing one of the numbers from a 3 to a 1. How big could that be? This is the only thing that we should talk about for the next year if this gets passed, because it, as we were talking about in the intro to the show, has ripple effects that affects every other possible policy priority. Because dropping the corporate tax rate from 35% to 15%, in addition to the loopholes, which you can bet your ass are going to remain, means that they're going to absolutely shred the federal budget. And they're eventually going to have to find that money. We're gonna get in just a second, there are assurances that this is gonna pay for itself, but it's not. Now, people have estimated how much these sorts of proposals will end up costing the federal government. And we don't know for sure because we're waiting for some of the details, but the Tax Policy Center looked at roughly this same plan with that same corporate tax rate change and estimated that in the first 10 years, it will cost $7.2 trillion in lost tax revenue. And by 2036, it will cost more than $40 trillion, which I don't think even exists. I don't know where those numbers could possibly come from, but that's what the Brookings Institute has calculated. And we already know somebody's gonna have to pay for it. Who do you think is gonna pay for it? If it's not the rich who are being protected here and it's not the corporations who are being protected here, it's on your ass to pay for that. Let's bring up this chart, which I know you've shown quite a few times. That's the distribution of the tax burden more than 50 years ago to today. And you see that back in the 50s, corporations were paying a third of all the federal taxes. This is 2015, before Donald Trump's changes. It's down to 10.8% there at the bottom, and you see individuals going up. You see social money being taken away from some of the social safety net programs is massively larger there. That's before their taxes are cut by more than 50%. Whose ass do you think this is gonna be on? And if you imagine that someday, after people are rightfully incensed over changes like this, that in 4 years or in 8 years we'll get a Democratic president, we'll get a huge progressive who will ride the wave of this hatred at Donald Trump for policies like this, what is he gonna be able to fund when he has to make up for trillions of dollars of lost money?
Remember when Bernie Sanders said, hey, let's do free college education so everybody's a chance at the American dream? They said, how dare you? That's $75 billion a year. Wow, that's unaffordable. And every Republican and a lot of Democrats said unrealistic and unaffordable. $75 billion. We're talking about a $7.5 trillion in
just 10 years.
And for tax cuts for the rich. So when you want to find 100 times the amount of money that Bernie Sanders proposed for your kids to just get an education, 100 times that amount for the rich to get richer, all of a sudden very realistic, very doable, and they can find the money. Isn't that wonderful and funny how that turns out? Okay, now more of the hypocrisy of Donald Trump. During the campaign, one of the things that was popular is he says, I'm gonna drain the swamp, and one of the things I'm gonna do is I'm gonna increase taxes on hedge funds. So when Mnuchin, who by the way worked in the financial industry, and Gary Cohn, who worked in the financial industry, said that, this is for small businesses. No, in the category they call small businesses are hedge funds. So it turns out Donald Trump, as always, a horrific liar. So you thought he was for you? No, he told you he was gonna raise the taxes on hedge funds just to get your vote because he thinks you're a schmuck. It's like, another person is scammed like I used to do at Trump University. Yeah, I'll increase taxes on the rich. No, now what's he doing? He's decreasing taxes tremendously for hedge funds, private equity, Wall Street, etc. Yeah. Not everybody in those industries are bad guys, but just because they're good guys or bad guys doesn't really matter. Doesn't mean you should pay a 15% rate. That's lower than the rate you pay. That's insane. Yeah. And that's what Donald Trump's bringing you. Yeah. And they say, oh, and we have to do a tax holiday, a repatriation tax, because otherwise these corporations who've been hiding their money offshore and holding it hostage won't bring it back and create jobs. Last time we did a tax holiday, remember when you got a tax holiday? No, I don't remember either. No, it's only for giant multinational corporations. Last time we did one in 2004, did they create any more jobs? Nope. They created almost no new jobs from that. And an analysis showed that. And you know what they got? They got something like 24,000% return on investments. For every dollar that they bribe politicians with legally, they got 24,000% return in the tax cuts that they had. So they say, well, no, what, Cenk, come on. They need to bring the money back. So how do we bring the money back? The rate's 35% now, they don't want to pay it. First of all, that's the law. I'm not interested in having a conversation on whether you'd like to follow the law or not follow the law. So what they want to do is, they haven't said the exact number yet, but in the past they've said they want to bring it down to 5%. 5%, okay? So while you pay whatever you pay, 20, 25, 30, 35, whatever it is that you pay, the corporations are gonna pay 5% of the money that they were hiding offshore. I have a different idea. So what's my idea? Well, how am I gonna get them to bring it back if they're not bringing it back? Oh, no, you can bring it back at 35%, which is the rate today. Or you can wait till next year when it'll be 40%. Or you could wait another year and then it'll be 45%. Don't worry, you could wait a third year and then it'll be 50%, but you bring it back anytime you like, okay? Oh, you can go the other way. How come nobody ever talked about that? All they ever talk about is tax holidays for multinational corporations. Gee, I wonder if they bought our politicians. I can't quite tell. Wolf-pack.com.
We actually have mention on the repatriation rate. I don't remember. It might have been 50%. So why don't we roll and see what the rate is going to be?
What's your rate on repatriation of funds overseas? And Gary Cohn, what about the marriage penalty? The president promised to eliminate.
Okay, again, first I'd comment on the rate of repatriation. We're working with the House and Senate on that, but I will say it will be a very competitive rate that will bring back trillions of dollars.
Will it be competitive with the law?
Competitive with what?
So I went to the DMV and they wanted $150 to register my car, and I said, make it 50, maybe I'll pay it.
Yeah.
No, that's not how it works. It's competitive. Competitive with what? This isn't the WWE. This is the law. You have to abide by the law. What's it gonna be? It's gonna be 5% or it's gonna be 3%. And it's also going to be a fantasy justification for how they can possibly shred the deficit and of the budget the way they are. So they're saying they have two arguments as to how they're gonna pay for all of this. The loss of at the very least 7 trillion, possibly far more. The first is this repatriation. So the interesting thing is that we've actually been through this before as a country, and individual states have done similar things. So the last time we did this, back during George W. Bush, there was a tax break on the repatriation. $312 billion came back to the United States. 92% of that money was returned to shareholders in the form of dividends and stock buybacks. It didn't suddenly flow back out into the coffers of the government and help the country, it helped the richest people. And interestingly, 60% of the benefits went to just 15 companies. The same companies that continue to lay off workers, close plants, and shift even more of their profits and resources abroad in hopes of cashing in on the next repatriation holiday. Because the interesting thing, when you tell them you can pay a far lower rate to bring the money back, is they think, hey, maybe there's a precedent where in the future I'll be able to wait and pay a far lower rate to bring my money back. And so it's a fantasy, okay? It's not gonna lead to huge reinvestments in jobs and all of that. That's driven by demand for products and services. You never hear these economists talk about demand. They said earlier, capital investment is the biggest driver of economic growth. No, people wanting to buy things and having the money to do it, that's the biggest driver of economic growth.
If you don't get money out of politics, of course they're gonna do this. Of course they're gonna bribe every politician there is, and of course they're gonna give those people who wrote them checks every single thing that they want. If you don't do public financing, those guys are never, ever, ever gonna represent us. But I'm told by a lot of people in Washington, including most of the progressive groups, this is not the time to get money out of politics. No, we should wait around a little bit because this is not a good time. Wait till they rob us of $7 trillion and then maybe we can start getting money out of politics. Our journalism drive is almost over. It ends in Trump's first 100 days. We need to hire more reporters and more watchdogs. Let's do that right now at tytnetwork.com/go.